This is Tao from Tauology. Anybody watch the interview I did with Michael Millions? I just want to say sorry for the many interruptions in the video and the technical difficulties. There's a skill break in there. I just want to say that we are working on things, trying to make things better, trying to make things perfect. So enjoy the interview as you have it now, and in the future we'll work on those things. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about it. Leave a comment. Thanks. All right, first question. Station name and where you from?
I'm Michael Millions, and I'm from East America, Richmond, Virginia.
You said East America.
East America, dog.
That's me intro. I'm gonna put down Twitter and Instagram and shit, so you'll see that.
Yeah, East America, man.
So I got a few questions in general, but I want to focus on "Hard to Be King" for the moment. How
All
did you
right.
come up with the title "Hard to Be King" and what influenced or brought that album to be?
Um, all right. Hard to Be King. The title of the album actually came from like, for one, I don't name any of my albums until like the very end,
Okay.
and I think it it's a story. It's a title, but it really comes from the like where I'm from. Like it ain't a lot of artists that get they just do. It ain't a lot of artists that like get out, and so I'm amongst a handful of artists that are actually just blessed to be able to express myself the way I want.
Right.
But it also comes with a different set of rules and parameters. You know what I'm saying? Because we might not have a large following on social media, but we also talking about a small, a big small city. So
Mm-hmm.
it's where people treat you like a king, or they refer to you as king or God, or but they really don't know what like really comes with that lifestyle. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You spend a lot of time working. You know what I'm saying? You spend a lot of time in the studio. You spend a lot of time talking to people. You spend a lot of time responding to people and their requests on your life. One example is like, you know, it got to a point here where like, I can't just be at a show, or we can't just be out eating dinner or whatnot, because the I get we get interrupted. You know what I'm saying?
Like
You get
people
to
know you, people recognize you and shit.
right, so it's like it's past the point where we could just chill and enjoy ourselves. But that type of interaction, a lot of people don't realize it. Like a stranger may say, "Oh shoot, there go Michael Millions, yo. I'm gonna go talk to him." And tell them everything. Nothing is wrong with that, because I mean, I'm very personable and I like talking to people. But you know, it gets to that level where you like, yo, I haven't done anything since I got to the spot, but talk to people, and I might have came to see a show or eat some dinner with the fam, or but you realize like because of your because of the things you've done, like through music and art, that like people respect you and they hold you and your name and the things that you do in high regard. But they treat it comes with this extra layer. So some people be like, nah, king, nah, God, this, that, and the third. But I'm like, it comes, that title and that weight comes with a heavy responsibility and duty to the craft and duty to the city. So the album, if you're listening to it, I really just talk about my real life and the
Right.
things that people kind of overlook when maybe I should be talking about balling, or I should be talking about um, turning up in the club, or spending money, something like that. But I'm like, no, I really want to really talk about my life and let people know, like, yeah, from the outside, it's fun to be a known musician, but we still humans, and we still deal with things, we still experience things, we still feel things, and um, it was really important for me to make this album, because it's like, that's just really where I am in life right now. So for the most part, yeah, that's really what heart that title came from. But the music really, the title came, was really about describing the music, and I'm really describing why it's, why the life of anybody that's talented in anything, whether you're a chef, you're a manager, whether you running a blog site or you're a writer. There's certain things, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
there's certain things that come along with the job. Like, you got to make sure you allocate your time. You may be, you know, not doing something just so you can fit this interview into your schedule. There are things
Right.
that come along with this lifestyle, and so it's really just bringing awareness to it, but in a way where it's really relatable. Like, there's so many people that are good at so many things, and just people at work. If you at a job and you become manager, there's a different set of rules and guidelines you get to go by, but it's also more scrutiny. Say you at work and you like the manager now, you might get an extra, you might get a better parking spot, but like on your way into the building, you might have to hear somebody say, "Oh, I guess you're not tired because you don't have to walk that far." You know what I'm saying? But you're
Yeah,
like,
you already know how that goes.
yeah, but that's the things these are the things you got to deal with. Like when people be like, people will say they little things, but they don't understand the work you put in, or the magnitude of the response that you get back from being good at your art, and
Right.
that's really what the album is really premised on. Is giving light to the artists and the people that have to change their lifestyles because of the things that they're good at.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely 100. Like you said, like you was real personal with the album, like from the intro to the snippet of your grandma and one of your songs. Like I was
Yeah,
like, yo, you really like put in like real shit in your albums. I definitely was like, I was fucking with it from beginning to end, like for real.
nah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
What's my next question? Oh, my last thinking shit. So back to the intro. The intro gave us wise words from Stretch. So who is Stretch to you?
Oh, Stretch is my dog. Like that's my homie. He like a brother to me.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, like we spent a lot of time in the studio together growing up. Me, him, and Dane Brand. And, um, yeah, so we just boys. You know what I'm saying? So it was just only right. His family from Yard, and it just made sense. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
he always hit me with a positive vibe or a text message anyway. So being that this album was really about the people I knew, and you know, it was only right to get the fam on the album. So,
Right.
and I felt like it was a message that brought you into the album, even if you don't gotta listen to it all the time. It's there
Right.
for you to hear. You know what I'm saying? And it
Mm.
brings you to the album.
Cause like always find artists' first track, like that first piece is always sets the tone of the album. So how you go into it is like makes a big difference. So you putting him there first was like, all right, so listen to that and listen to the whole album and listen to it again for the second and third time, you kind of feel his words a little bit more. At least
Yeah,
for me at times.
yeah, nah, for sure. It become, I mean, Hard to Be King is an album that does that. It becomes more meaningful to you as you dissect it, as you listen to it and apply some of the concepts and some of the themes to your own life. You realize, like, this is the music of your heart. Like, this, not all of it. I mean, I'm not saying I've made every song perfect or designed for everybody, but it was designed with real intent and emotion behind, like, the idea that I was trying to give you. So when you hear like my man Stretch just saying like just those words at the beginning, it's like that can be applied to so many different things,
Right.
that feeling. But it's really just about a feel. So once you get that feel, you like, oh shoot, what is this album about to be about? And
Right.
the first lyrics on my album is "I'm from Richmond." You probably never heard of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? These are the first lyrics on the album, because this album, like, again, it's not about me. It's about my family. It's about my city. Like I said, the very first lyrics on my album is "I'm from Richmond," and with being from where I'm from, it's not. We don't get those looks. We don't get to go to Double XL and the Source, and run the blogs or be on Revolt and shit like that. We don't get that often. So when it's one of us get to do it, like,
Mm.
a lot of times people get up there, they get on those platforms, and it's like me, look at me, look what I got, and you can't be like me. And
Right.
I feel like hip hop is not built on. I mean, it's built on some of that, but like
That's
really,
that's not the whole idea of what hip hop is.
right. So we gotta expand on those ideas, like and expand on our art. So like we're making this shit musical for people. Like so, like I said, when you get a record like Sirens, I'm bringing you to where I'm from. You know,
Mm-hmm.
bringing you right into Richmond, whether it's sonically through sound or it's like through what we are experiencing as Richmond residents. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like I'm bringing you right to where I am and how this music got created. And that's a very important part of making an album is bringing people into your world. A lot of times these artists they'll put records together and they'll be like, "Oh man, I got 12 joints," but the 12 joints they just songs. You know what I'm saying?
They're not cohesive with the album.
Right, but they're not. It's not really an album, but they'll call it an album or they'll call it a mixtape. But none of this stuff really goes together. It's not really cohesive. It's not sonically cohesive. You know what I mean? But it
Yeah.
sounds good. But that's not what we would aim to create. You know what I'm saying? I aim to create a body of work for real that you can listen top to bottom. If it was 25 records on there, I don't think anybody would have been mad if it was 19. It's 19 records on there, and people say they listen to it all day.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, it's a blessing, but it's the key is there's a theme. Here's the music that supports it, and I hope you're comfortable while you're in this world that I've created right now.
Say like a
So
true artist.
yeah, on some real art. You know what I mean? Knowing that I can rap is clear. Like it's clear that we can rap, but now it's like, can I make songs? Can I create a feel? Can I get you through your day? Can I? Is this like a lot of people are hitting me like, dog? I'm listening to your album at the gym, or I've been listening to this here all day. I'm driving here, or I'm cooking. They're living their lives to my album.
Right.
That's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like that's beautiful for real.
So like during this conversation, I had like 5 different questions. I'm trying to like write them down if I won't forget.
Nah, you good?
so two questions in one. You spoke of name brand. So who is name brand, and also speak about the single, your single technically, Sirens.
Well, I just speak on Sirens again. That was produced by Nicholas F. Um, like I said again, it was just really a record um, describing my city or an aspect of my city. Um, if anybody knows about Richmond, Richmond was like the murder capital of the United States for a long time. Before it
Yeah.
was like Chicago and them, it was Richmond. You know what I'm saying? And we're like the kids that grew up in that era, teenagers that grew up in that era. You know what I'm saying? So it's still going on. It's just different now. It's not as bad anymore, but it's still occurring. And if you're a native of Richmond, and you look on the news or scroll through your timeline feed, this is the topic. You're
Mm.
going to hear this. Um, it's not a bad place to live by no stretch of the word. It's a beautiful place, but the reality is the reality. And if you're from Richmond, you relate to that record because you like shit. I hear the sirens every day outside. I think it's going down.
Right.
It might be going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's really full circle. Sirens and Kings, they're the records that tie the whole record together. It's more like what's going down, and then I talk about in Sirens, I talk about where I'm from, the conditions of where I'm from, and as you listen, I have this conversation with my homie that's locked up, and then I drift off into another topic where towards the end I explain why these sirens go down. Whereas there are no jobs or there's
Yeah.
low employment and it's the streets, and then it's like, oh shit, my daughter gotta eat. I gotta go out there and do my thing so that my kid could eat, and then it's right back full circle. I
Right.
hear the sirens outside. I think it's going down. So it's really a picture that I'm painting, but it really is full circle. And then when we talk about the record Kings, which is the final record on the album, it's really about that record is really about our crime on each other, and how we're it's not enough of us kings anyway, so we
Facts.
need to really not kill each other because we're slaying all of our potential. We're getting rid of all of what we can be, kings and queens, but more so the black male. You know what I'm saying? We're the
Definitely.
most endangered species in America. So, we got to stop killing ourselves and treating ourselves like kings and queens so that we can elevate our whole culture, not just on some black thing, but just people in general. Like, but if we're an endangered species, we can't do that. And but I'm from an environment and I'm from a city that really lets you know why these things go down. So it's two stories, but those are the tie-ins on the album. So those are the environmental tie-ins of the album.
Right. Fucking shit. My bad, bro. Hold on.
No, you good, man.
Oh, press my button. Like speaking of being kings, you trying to like take care of business, and everybody want to hit you up all of a sudden.
It's hard to be, man. Hard to be.
Factuals.
You're busy, dude. Things change, yo. You know.
Yeah. All right. That should take care of half of it. Who's name brand?
Nate Brand is my brother. He's my blood brother. We, same mother, same father. My primary producer. Um, he does of my actual recording catalog. He owns about 99% of it.
Damn.
Of my released music catalog, Brandon will always lay the foundations for my album. And so he that's my brother. The foundation of any project or the foundation of my music starts with him and I together. So that's really it in a nutshell. He's like Virginia got a lot of producers. You know what I mean? You
Mm-hmm.
got Timberland, Knox, Bink, um,
Timberland from Virginia? He is, huh?
Timberland. We got Pharrell. We got Knox. We
Bro.
got Bink. Um, we had the late Clef Dollars,
Yeah.
Teddy Riley in them. Um, I know I'm probably forgetting somebody off the rip.
Hella low key with it too, huh?
Lex Luger. We got Lex Luger. He from Suffolk. I'm trying to think. But Virginia got sounds, man. But my brother, hey, hold on one second.
Go ahead.
Come in. My bad.
Oh, you good, fam?
Nah, but my brother got those sounds. So it's like when you think about Richmond. I mean, when I think about all of these different people, like my brother right there with him. Like my brother is just as great, if not greater than all the people I named.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just hyping him up. That's just the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is, my brother is incredible.
Like he definitely up there. Like the production of the album was
hold
super.
on one second.
Go ahead.
Yo, yeah, go ahead.
All right. And like he definitely the beats and production was like ill. Like he definitely like. Well, honestly, it's transferring to my next question. He said a
And the
certain sound.
album is like 85% live, so we swapped out our samples and digital instruments for real instruments. So that's what you're hearing.
In the whole album or the majority of the album.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to say like how I was listening to Ghost of $20 Bill. Compare that sound to how this one is. It's like a complete like 180 in like how it sounds and everything. It's like Heart to Be King is real smooth. It's like just smooth. That's basically the way I can put it.
Yeah, it's better because I'm an engineer as well. So Ghost came out in 2014. So now you're getting Hard to Be King, but that's 3 more years of engineering experience, and that's probably like between that time and this time we're talking about maybe 500, maybe 400 or so records or so, and like maybe 12 other albums I put out with other people engineering, like working their projects as well. So now we get to my project in 2018. You're hearing an artist, but you're also hearing the skill set of an engineer that's been engineering music for 17 years.
So you've been growing in different aspects, huh?
Yeah, so I'm hands on. Like I engineered this whole project, mixed, engineered, like tracked all the vocals, tracked the instruments. Of course, wrote the lyrics. Um, mixed the whole record, sound for sound, and then once we were done, mastered the whole album. It took me about 7 years to learn and master, and so that's what you're hearing. You're hearing a product of everything that I know how to do on Hard to Be King.
Nice. To you, is this an album or a mixtape?
This is the album.
Okay.
This is a full-fledged album.
So what's the difference between a mixtape and an album to you? Like for you, when you go in the booth, you have this in mind.
A mixtape is more so like a compilation of songs that kind of go together, but they're just going together because it's just a group, a collection of songs. An album is a cohesive idea. An album is Kendrick's Damn or Cole's Forest Hill Drive or Rhapsody's Layla's Wisdom or Jay-Z's 444. These are albums, you know what I mean? Or go back further than that, Snoop Dogg Doggy Style or Dr. Dre and them with the Chronic. These are real albums that came out, and catalog Nas, It Was Written, or Illmatic. These were albums, not mixtapes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They were very well put together bodies of work with producers and production that had equal quality all the way through, equal mixing, equal mastering, professionally packaged and delivered to the consumer. Mm-hmm. This is an album. Hard to Be King is an album. I've only released one mixtape independently, and it's very rare. Very rare. It's very rare. Like, if you have it, you have it. I haven't even put it out there like that. And I know people like trade it off. Like they share zip files of it because it's only one mixtape I've ever done.
What's the name of it, if you don't mind sharing?
It's called Loose Change. It was hosted by A+. A+ is a very well-known radio DJ here. But he moved on to another market, and he's in Detroit now.
Squad. I'm from Detroit, so yeah.
You're from Detroit. A+ on y'all radio.
Is he really?
Yeah, A+, A_+.
I ain't been in Detroit in so long, bro. I need to make a trip back down there. Radio station.
He's out there. He's out there now. Yeah, A+. He's in Detroit now.
And tell myself what up.
Will do. But yeah, man, definitely. The differences, it's clear, but a lot of times the consumer doesn't really know. It's not a tape, you know what I'm saying? When it's an album, man. Albums go from top to bottom, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're made to be they're designed to be listened to top to bottom, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. I know a lot of people they put mixtape ideas on everything, especially they fucking with a label, because a lot of things been coming out from labels that they hide behind a veil. So an artist may have an album aspect in mind, and they're like, "I know we calling this a mixtape. Just go ahead and throw it out." So I'm definitely glad you was clear about your end on it.
Yeah, I'm very clear on as far as I don't know. I don't know why people change it up. I guess they do that to build buzz, but
right.
I never really believed in that formula, man. I'm like, yo, the artists that I grew up listening to, they didn't have no buzz. They dropped the album. You know
right.
Holy shit. This shit sounds amazing.
Right.
And I'm fucking with it. That's what happened. And we get so wrapped up in I gotta build a buzz and I gotta get people warmed up, and no, you don't gotta do none of that. You build your energy naturally, you build that energy the right way. And it's gonna take some time, but put all your love and your passion into what you're doing, and you should get back what you put into it. And that's really the simple mathematics of it all, for real.
Yeah.
So, I go into each project as an album. I'm going in there to deliver you a sonic ride, period. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. How long you been rapping for?
I'm 34. I've been rapping since I was 10 years old. I started recording music at 14. I was signed for the first time by the time I was 18. When I turned about 20, I was signed to that label until I was about 26, and I went independent. But all the while building my catalog and status from where I'm from. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a long ride, but it really, it's a long time we've been at it. But that's, it's now that the rest of the people are catching up to like what we're doing. But Richmond knows, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
outside now, we're able to get outside now and get them to pay attention more. So that's the beautiful part for real.
I feel you. My next question was: you being a lot of praise for the album, especially from Double XL. I ain't know. I know it ain't nothing new to you, because like you said, you've been building a buzz. You've been creating your sound for a while. But have you been adjusting it well? I saw a tweet that said something kind of differently. Like basically to sum it up, your tweet was on the lines of like how everything like is sweet, or people with energy change. They think that you on now. So I was like kind of worried about you a little bit.
Yeah, like nah, that's just what happens. And it might be good energy, it might be bad energy, but you got to know when it comes. Sometimes it's like sometimes you might sometimes you can't get certain people to answer the phone, but like if they see you do something crazy, they might answer the line there. Or um, you might see people that aren't happy for your success when you thought that didn't matter. I've seen people that I would call friends or homies change because of my success. I've seen that over the years, and
Mm.
like, so I know what happens. It's like you keep being successful, you're gonna start. You continue to weed out people that like really don't. They they want you to be successful until you become successful. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, oh shit. It's like they kind of believed in you, and now it's like, oh shit, it's happening for him, but it's not happening for me. So it's a lot that comes with that. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's the gift. It comes with the territory, yo. You know what I'm saying? It's a sad thing to see, but I imagine if I see it on this level, then I'm gonna see it a million times over. And I understand why artists and people that make it to a certain level of fame or whatever through their talents, they wear their sunglasses all day. I understand now because you don't know who's peeking into on you. You know what I'm saying? You don't
Yeah.
know trust, or you don't know who to let close to you because you don't know what they see. You don't know what they perceive. You don't know anything about them, but they may know everything about you. They done broke down like you done broke down pieces of my album enough to ask me a question about it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So like, imagine it could be a stranger. They might not even know. They don't know me, but through my music, they know a lot about. They know a lot about me. So
True.
so in the public, even though I'm clothed, I'm super naked because I don't know who's listening and who knows my story. So it changes, and the energy of that changes. Some people like to see people celebrated, and then there's some people like, man, I know people that I talked to. No one knew my album was dropping. I didn't even tell maybe but a handful of people that it was gonna drop on the second.
That shit came out of nowhere. But go ahead.
Yeah, out of nowhere, and there are people that I talked to on the first. You know what I'm saying? That I ain't heard from since the second.
Damn.
Like I talk to them every day for like months and months, but there's certain people I ain't heard from since the second. Sometimes those people don't think you see that. They might think your inboxes is flooded, your emails is. They might think you don't notice it, but you notice like, yo, I talk to this person every day, but I ain't heard from them since my tape dropped.
Right.
It's a difference, man. Things happen, and but it's cool though. These are the things that happen, and I just pray like, I get it now. I get it. So it's like I don't sweat it. I just understand that's a part of the journey too.
Right. Like you said, like you get it. Like once you understand it, you're just like, it's cool. It is what it is. Like I feel you on that.
No, for sure.
All right. On one of your songs, I pray. You say I understand the game. Sometimes. What game are you referring to, and why did you say sometimes?
Like wherever the Erica Badu sample that came from the game, it's like
That was crazy, by the way.
it's like her thank you. It was like her when she did the record. It was like her understanding the game of like life and how it's hard for like the black man, and how it's a little different for him and his shoes, and how she understands her position on that. Now, as a rapper, you know, the impact, or as an artist, the impact on our relationships are great. You know what I'm saying? Meaning like greater, meaning like we public figures. We're like, um, we don't just belong to, you know, our significant other. We belong to whoever, because people are living by your music. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Um, so the busyness of your life could make, it could make people that's close to you feel like they're not important, but it's really that you have to work so much harder to get where you want to go. Like, it's easy to go. I went to college. It's easy to go to school, go to college, get a job, but it's a lot harder to be somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a lot harder to be the number one, or try to be the number one artist in your city. You know what I'm saying? Or try to be one of the best artists that ever came out of Virginia. You know what I'm saying? It's a
Mm-hmm.
lot harder it's a lot harder when that's what you're trying to accomplish, and the amount of work that go into that, could put a lot of strain on various relationships, where you might not talk to your homies for like 4 5 months, and it's just like, shit, my nigga, my bad. I've been trying to get this album done because it's a lot of pressure on me. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? But I'm really, I'm back now, and you know what I'm saying? We doing this for your relationship may strain because you working late hours, or you always on the road, or you always dealing with different people. Like, these are all the things that come along with the job. So in that record, it's like, I understand like how you may feel, um, and I get it, but the sometimes part is like, yo, I'm doing this not for myself, but I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for the fam. I'm doing this um for my city. I'm doing this for everyone around me. I'm doing this for the like tribe of kids that all my niggas keep having. You know what I'm saying? It's not really, for real though. It's not really just about me no more. So when you hear my album open up, and I say I'm from Richmond, I ain't said one thing about myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm really talking about my
The city.
from where, yeah, my intentions on what I'm trying to do. So it comes with a lot. So it's like, when you say you understand the game, I understand. Yo, I understand that you feel like my time could be, my time is a little restricted, but it's only restricted because I'm trying to build a better life for everyone around me. So it's a gift and a curse, but that's the I pray, and then sometimes I understand the game. Sometimes, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? That was Erica Badu's premise on it. It's like, I understand you sometimes, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So that's the same premise of that record, for real.
Cause you threw that
So I
sometimes
did.
part in there,
So
and
what
I
I
was like,
did was I just tied like a simple concept to that, like a relationship, the strain between a relationship. And I'm like, I'm like out on the road, and I'm saying like, yo, I had another good show. I had another good night in the studio, and it's like, you know, Shorty's tired of hearing that part. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
like spending the time with me, or I'm not seeing you. I ain't seeing you because you on the road, or you had an ill little tour run, or you're recording in the studio again. It's like, that's kind of like the life. But this all goes back into like, damn, it's hard to be king, because the consumer, my fans want me to produce this type of content, but my friends and my family want me to spend time with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's so you in the balance of like who you are and your talent, and people wanting your talent, and people wanting who you are as a person. So it's a balance, but that's a premise of a record. It's all real, but it's like, it's really in a relatable way. You know what I'm saying? So that,
Mm.
you know what I mean. So our listener could get where I'm going with that one.
I feel you. Like I said, you threw that sometimes line in there. I just was like, huh. Cause it's caught my attention how you said he's like sometimes like how you say it right now. It's how you said it in that song. Just
Yeah, sometimes.
like sometimes. I felt that. I felt that.
Yeah, yeah.
You have a line in there. I wish I wrote it down. You have a line in that song about a degree. I'm trying to remember how you phrased it. I'm not gonna remember. But how it connected, I thought was fucking ill. I wish I wrote that shit down. But I think it's on that
Um,
exact same song.
No, it's like we know we don't like because as a rapper we don't get degree. There are no degrees for us.
Right. Yeah, that's the
You
one.
know
That's
what I'm
the
saying?
one.
Like I got a degree from college, man. I walked across that stage and I gave my mama my degree. I ain't seen my degree, and my degree ain't never been in my crib. Like I gave it to my mom's. But like the things about being a rapper is or an artist, the only thing that we can strive to get that legitimizes our career as a musician is like a Grammy. You know, something that like says like Grammy nominated or Grammy award recipient for the art you created.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only accolades a musician gets. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I've always been studious. You know, I went straight through school with excellent grades. Came out of college with excellent grades. I did very well in my career when I had one. But like, so my ability to excel is there. But now that I'm a full time musician, the only my achievement that would legitimize the achievement that I could say, yo, mom, is me getting a Grammy or me doing some bigger things. You know, I can say, yo, mom, this is what I did with my career in music. I became a Grammy nominated musician and nationally recognized for my artwork. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Right.
when you draw the picture for your dad on Father's Day, like the dinosaur or something. Be like, yo, look, dad, yo, they love my dinosaur picture. That's kind of what I'm going for here. Like, it's like I want to those are the accolades. Those are the only accolades. No degree for my majors. Just no degree for our majors. Just Grammys and chains that's made of gold. Money that doesn't fold. You know what I'm saying?
That,
These are the awards we get. You know, the
right.
chains, the money that doesn't fold, the women, the friends. You know, these are the things that come with the things we want to do. You know what I mean? Not a degree. Oh, you got a degree in rap? Like, nah. We get all the other. We get the cars. You know, we get everything else, but it's not nothing legitimizes us until we get those like awards and those proper accolades. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm after is to be recognized as not only just a rapper but a musician, you know.
Right.
But that's what I mean by that. It's like all we have is this, you know what I mean?
I hear you on that. Like I said, I felt that like for real. Just to be clear, on I pray your phone did die in mid conversation, right? Cause you had a
Yeah,
moment
yeah,
where your
yeah.
phone just cut off.
Uh huh.
Are you like bad with charging your phone or something, or what?
Absolutely, yo. That's the thing. It's a story of my life. Like I got the phone on the charger now. My phone is fully charged when I wake up, and you know, it's just a story of my life. My phone may drop. Like I might not answer the call. Like I'm really good with text, but like I live my life in 10-minute increments, and you know sometimes I'm on a wire with my homies that's locked up, or I'm busy, I'm out, and you might go through a tunnel, or you might go through you might be in a bad place, and then the call just dropped. You know what I'm saying? Or you
Right,
try.
like you did on Sirens too. And I was like,
Yeah, so it's like always those were put there because they're designed to show you the importance of a situation and how life things like a phone call dropping can ruin an important conversation or an important message, and you're like, "Hello," and it's like I'm trying to tell you about my day, and oh, you just hung the phone up, and it's like, damn. And back into the hook. Like, we got this situation. See, brother got this complex occupation. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't that he don't have education. Cause I was right there at his graduation. So it's the reverse of the understanding. You know what I'm saying? So
mm-hmm,
that record is really deep when you really break it down, but it's based on that understanding though, man.
yeah. I always had this moment where in my life when I listen to songs, I don't first time I go through, I mean like, oh, that sounds okay, but something keeps pulling me back to that song, and somehow that song ends up being a very strong pillar in my life, and I feel like I praise on that same path.
Nah, I feel that. I feel that.
It's like us having this conversation, you breaking it down. It's like I can see why I keep going back to it now. It's definitely like definitely gonna be a repeat now. Can you elaborate on a story you tell in Kings in Water 3? In a verse, you heard a story of a guy visiting family because he's got the bean. When he visits his daughter, he made an unexpected guest. So can you please
hmm
elaborate on that more?
Um, a friend of mine lost her brother that way. Her little brother was incarcerated for some time, and the first thing he wanted to do when he got out of jail was go see his daughter. And he skipped out on going to have a welcome home dinner with his family, just so his first moments could be just to lay eyes on his daughter or whatnot. And when he got to his baby mom's house, there was another dude there, and it wasn't like he was with the woman, I mean with the girl or anything, but an altercation took place, and that man lost his life. And yeah, it was my homegirl's little brother, and that's a real story, man. He was only out of jail maybe about a couple hours before that happened to him.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like,
So when I think about that, I'm like, here's a dude that said, I could go eat Red Lobster or something with my family. He said, nah, I'll catch up with y'all. I'm gonna go see my daughter.
right,
And then we lost the king, a guy that a person that in their mindset was, let me go lay eyes on my child. And so we lose our kings this way. We lose them to the system, and then we lose them to the streets. But the heart behind the man that says, "Yo, I'll catch up to y'all later. I'm gonna go see my kid."
right.
You know what I mean? You think about that, like that hit me hard, because it's like, man, I got a daughter, and like if I was incarcerated, and that would be the first thing I would want to do.
Right.
So you know, and this guy, I don't think, with intentions on seeing his child, I don't think he knew he was gonna run into that. And it's just crazy how life inspires the music, though. But that was the premise of that verse. And then the first verse was rooted around a situation that happened not in a neighborhood not too far from me, with some younger dudes. And it was just like unfortunate. It was a mother had a son that was expected to play ball, and he lost, got into an altercation and lost his life too. But these are the things that go on in Richmond, every day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is the sirens outside.
Rest in peace to both of them. Like, for real, for real.
Yeah, bless up, bless up.
So, who or what influences you?
Um,
Like, just in general, musically, personally, it's all up to you.
One of my biggest musical influences is D'Angelo. Um, Outside of that, I'm influenced by all the great rappers. I'm influenced by a lot of local MCs that I know personally. Um, Man, I'm influenced by so much, man. I listen to a lot of Marvin Gaye, because he always talks about what's going on. I listen to a lot of Bob Marley. They talk about like really very human things. You know what I'm saying? Not
Right.
me just because I like to smoke weed a lot, but like really, really listen to Bob Marley and the things he speaks on, the things he represents, and the beauty of his music. Like I want my music to represent that too.
Right.
I don't want to just be a rapper and rap about rapping. I want to be able to rap and say I lifted somebody up. You know what I'm saying? I want to rap and say people are living their lives to my music.
Right.
It's very important to me as an artist. And so yeah, oh man, my list of influences is heavy. You know what I mean? Black Thought, of course, is one of my favorite rappers. Nas, Jay, Big, Pac. Um, the greats, Big Pun. Man, there's so many MCs that's in it, that came and left, that are just DMX. Like, just people that we had so many original people in that golden era. Like I was
The
telling
whole
somebody,
90 series.
yeah, I was telling somebody earlier today. A friend of mine named Ebony. She runs Random Elbow Music. It's a blog and a platform she's running. But I was talking to her earlier, and I was like, my music is most like the golden era. It's like it's not that I sound like anyone from back then. You just know I got my skills from back then.
Right.
Right. And so that's what I'm bringing to the forefront too. So the people that like music and love hip hop, I actually represent that shit to them, but now in 2017. But I was actually there in 96, 95, 94. Like I was there. I seen it, I heard it. And so this is what molded me. This is what grew me. And this is my tone in music, you know?
I feel you. I feel you. You said D'Angelo. So I need you to speak on that. 'Cause I never heard anybody say D'Angelo. That's like something I expect a rapper to say.
Yeah, absolutely. D'Angelo from Richmond, man, and he created the genre neo soul. So
Damn. That's kept secret. I ain't peep that out.
so
Yeah.
so when we talk about like greats like Pharrell, Timberland, Missy, all of them, we also got to mention D'Angelo. You know, they were heavyweights within the genre, but we talking about I'm from a land where a man created a genre. You
Right.
know, so
Like.
now that's a little different. You know what I'm saying? When we
Mm,
talking about a whole nother bracket of music was spawned out of this land here, man. We're really hold on. We're really talking about something, and that's kind of what I wanted to bring to Cardi B King is hip hop soul. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like, hold on one second. Yeah, like hip hop soul. You know what I mean? That's what I wanted to bring to the game. It's like
Mm,
the soul of where we're from, the soul and the roots of the sound that was actually here, that the world actually enjoys. I mean, people listen to Erica Badu and Ledisi and John Legend and Music Soul Child, and we listen to all of these artists because there was a D'Angelo, you know.
yeah.
So Hardy B. King is representative of these sounds, that we're here, that are here.
That's crazy. Like you so good at what you're doing. They had to create you your own lane, just so you can be like, all right, we gotta put you over here, because what you're doing doesn't fit R&B. It doesn't fit anything that have already came out. That's fucking. I ain't peep that out.
Yeah, so it's really like hip hop soul or like street porn. I call it street porn because it's like the best things about the streets, and the gritty side of rap music, but it's all musical. Like when people talk about food porn or like such and such porn, my music is like street porn. It's like the best of the streets, like the last of the dudes that was in the streets, and the last of the dudes that's gonna really talk like this on record, but be very musical and be very
Right.
organic, true to sound. And, you know what I'm saying? It's like that's how I describe my music. It's the sound, the quality of my music. My basses sound like basses, and my kick drums sound like kick drums. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I sound real. You know what I mean? It's like a full plate, a full course meal.
I heard that. Like for real, for real. What's your favorite track on the album?
Thinking about you. Thinking,
Yo,
thinking
that's my
about
favorite. That's my favorite track. I was at work and I kept singing that sample of that girl singing, and I was like, I gotta visit that song again. And I just kept singing it over and over again.
you.
So,
Yeah, that's one of my favorite records. I mean, oh man, I love the whole album, but when I say my favorite, like that's that thing with my grandma. She might call me 4 or 5 times, and I'm always like, Grandma, let me call you back. Let me call you back. But we talk all the time, but she calls all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, call back. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to get you on her horn, just want to see what's good. Like you know what I mean? That's just how she is, and that message is representative of my life because she know I don't answer. She know I'm working, so she's like, she'll leave me a little one liner, and it's like it's kind of the story of my life. So even that, like you said, brought up the phone thing. That's a theme throughout my thing because it's like communication. You know what I'm saying? It's like
right.
you working so much, I might not respond to you. You know what I'm saying? I live. You know what I'm saying? I might not respond quick enough, or I try to respond. You know what I'm saying? I try
Mm,
my best, but sometimes I just fall short. And
right.
these are things that I fall short on. You know what I mean? It's just communication sometimes.
I, it's funny that you say it's your favorite song because I love that song. Like,
Yeah, that's my joint, man. And it's really like, and it really sets my intentions. It's like I start out and I'm like, somewhere far from here is what I'm dreaming about.
yeah.
So obsessed with the future, I for days won't leave the house. Meaning, like, I mean, my studio is in my crib, so
Oh shit.
sometimes I'm so obsessed with what I want to do tomorrow that I spend all day preparing for it.
Right.
You know? So I say I know how Prince felt, because he had that vault where he just recorded and locked
All the
himself.
time.
I know how Mike felt. Michael Jordan felt. You
You
know
know,
what
I
I'm
might
saying?
I know how
Yeah,
Jay felt.
yeah. Like Mike, he'll win a championship and still go shoot 200 shots in the gym after that. I'll do a show and come home and record after that. Like,
Right.
I know how they feel. I know how Jay feels at, like, whatever age he is right now when he says, yo, I want to go and do an album. I know what that inspiration feels like. Or Roy Jones, you know, he probably still goes to the boxing gym to train.
I
You know,
heard he
I
had a
know
match come
what.
up too, but go ahead.
Yeah, so you see what I'm saying? So I feel like I harness that energy of what that burning desire to create is. It's not really about age. I tell people I'm 34, but I feel most youthful. I'm at my most youthful moments in my life. Like, I got long hair now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so youthful now. You know what I mean? And
Right.
it's just oh, hold on. It's just it's just where I'm at. So that record is really my intentions on, like, yo, I really want to change the lives of everybody that I'm close to. It's hard to be king, hard to be king,
Hot
even
speaking.
harder to be chose to be king. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, it's not even, it's hard to become king, but it's even harder when your people choose you as king. You see what I'm saying? So when you have to fill the shoes that the people even put you placed out there for you, you know, you've been chosen for that. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
like even harder, you know, when you're trying to be that way, but it's even harder when that role has been chosen for you.
Loading some gems on this interview. Chill.
But for real, this ain't about me. It's really about anyone that's good at what they do with their talent. As you progress, these are the things you're gonna deal with. You know, you're gonna be like, I got to do this interview. I got to cover this. I got to do this. I got to, and it's gonna be. It's not that you not thinking about them, but it's like, yo, I'm trying to. I'm at the point where I can get this to a better place, but I got to focus this much for a little while longer. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But my intentions are on that record. I'm telling people, like, I want to change the lives of everybody that I'm close to. You know what I'm saying? But it's called thinking of you. But I'm really thinking of everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all I can say, bro. Like for real. Your album covers are usually sideways. Why is that?
Yeah. It is an art direction created by my man Elijah and my other homie Arnold Yoon. They run a company called Uncle and Profit, and they started a company called the SHHO. From there, they went on to work on with 300 and Fool's Gold and just different things. But they're like, I work very closely with art students, art directors. I'm very into the art. So even when you get my album from a artistic level, it's art. But when you get the cover, it's art.
Mm-hmm.
So all of my covers have been shot on 35 millimeter film. They're all shot on cameras that we got, disposable cameras that we got from Walmart. I mean Walmart. Um, and what we do is film is the best thing. I love film. Film is so real. It's like analog. I mean, everybody has DSLRs and you can get the clear, crispy video, but it's something about film that adds an extra layer of life to something. To me, in my opinion.
Right.
And, so you know what we did was, in Ghostly $20 bills, we took out about $2,500 in 20s and pasted them to the wall, and I wore a suit. I hate wearing suits. Um, but that theme behind that cover was, you know, uh, how people like give up on their dreams, kind of right before the finish line, and they place all everybody's hopes and dreams are placed on money. Like, we go into work and we go and get a job, and we like, oh shit, they're gonna pay me $70,000, and from that 70,000, we like, man, I'm gonna go on some trips, I'm gonna get these clothes, I'm gonna drive this car, but we place all of these dreams on the dollar bill.
Right.
Now, sometimes these things don't go as planned, and
Oh.
all of these dreams become ghosts. I was inspired by that whole topic by seeing the homeless people in my city, and I'll be like, damn, man, young nigga like me, we pull up in all these different cars, or we switch cars when we want to do it, and we might pull up, you know, in front of a homeless person, and I'm like, damn. this homeless person been outside all day, and I'm like, damn, man, I wonder what's that's like. But then even a deeper thought, I was like, man, I wonder if that homeless person had dreams before. I wonder if they were in school before. I wonder if when they were little, they wanted to be somebody. You know what I mean? And when they see somebody else, maybe driving by or a family or something like that, how many ghost dreams are they dealing with? Like, oh man, I remember I wanted to have a family or I wanted to do this. And it really inspired me by like a lot of times we deal with these things where, we start out on a particular path in life and we give up on that path just before something good happens for us. And so I'm a strong believer in like sticking it out to the finish and just keep pushing. So that album was about that. But the cover art, back to the cover, we shot that on 35 millimeter film. The border is made out of lottery tickets that we actually cut out and placed as a border. And then we took another picture of that, and that's how you got the picture. Um, for a beautiful cover, we did the same thing. We took two pictures, one of them with the same thing with the disposable camera from Walgreens. We took one picture of a blurry picture of a background, and then we took another picture, a clean picture of me smiling sideways, um, and we superimposed those on top of each other. And we took a picture, laid out the text, and we took a picture of that. For Hard to Be King, we took it all the way back with the aesthetic of having a border. And so we took the film that we had, we shot the cover, and then we developed all the film, and then we laid the film out and we cut the film, sort of like when I guess photographers are reviewing film, and then you'll see them in movies or
Yeah, like on the road. Yeah,
yeah, the roll. So we developed that, but what we did was we cut that out and placed that and made a border out of that. And we did that for the inside panel as well. We're gonna drop this on vinyl and CD, so we did the panels. Um, and so we cut everything out, did another border, took another picture, and that's how we got that image. We're all done on film. And so we laid out the inside cover like that, and then the back cover is my album credits that are in a wave form, vocal wave form.
yeah.
And so that's kind of like my way of giving credit to the audio sound. So that was the idea behind the art direction. But a little known secret: we shoot all my album covers on disposable cameras.
I didn't know that. And, like looking at the cover of Hard to Be King, I can see now. Like, I can see that now.
Yeah, it's grainy. It's exposed weird. But if you look at the other three colors, they all do the same thing. It's because it's really it's film, but it's really the cameras. We do mock shoots with DSLRs or whatever kind of cameras we have. But when it comes down to the actual what's going out, it's got to be on film.
I feel you.
Yeah, it's got to be on film.
I need, so I listen to your album on Apple Music. I need to actually get like a bigger size so I can actually see it, like every detail around the border. Cause I noticed that like in some pictures you turn your head in certain ways and whatnot. So I
Yeah,
need to get that blown up.
yeah. You could probably zoom in on it more on my Instagram page, or I could send you the cover art, later today or later. Um, but yeah, man. Yeah, that's the cover art is just as important as the music
Oh
because
yeah,
it's something to bring you in. And now that we have like three covers like that, people are understanding that this is a concept that we have, and hopefully people ask me more about the art as we break it down. You know what I mean? But the art is just as important. It's just not like point click and digital shit. You know what I mean? Placed on top of it. It's really like manually done, like cutting with scissors and
right.
things like that.
It's
Yeah.
a, it's a, it's an art. It's an art to doing that. Like for real.
Right, right. It's an art. So we keep it artful all the way through so that it's like there's no part of this album that is like as it can. It's all art. You know what I mean? Even though it's just an album cover and it's just an album, how we went about doing it was the long way.
And that's what makes it art because it's like every detail is like so precise. It's like not one thing is out of place. Like you want everything to be in a certain way.
Yeah, yeah, very in tune.
Yeah, I pay attention, bro. I really was like, hey. So
Yeah.
this is like when we like one of my last questions. I want to do more, but like we went so in detail, bro.
Nah. I hope I'm giving you a lot of good content,
Oh,
bro. I
you
like
were. I'm like this is my personal records, bro. Like for real, for real.
nah, no, dog. That's dope.
So with the internet moving so fast as far as music goes, how is this changing for you? Because I feel like every week there's always new music, and it's like so much music. Not all of it's good. Some of it's like bad. Some of it's good. But how does that affect you with like the internet and everything else?
It ties back into that concept of like delivering an album or a mixtape. Mixtapes, people will be like, "Yo, go check my mixtape." You put an album out, it's like, go listen. Now, if you put out listenable music, people going to listen to your music when it drop or whenever they get to it, and they're going to check out every other thing that they're supposed to check out. But when it gets back down to them saying, "Hey, I want to listen to some music," they're going to go listen to an artist that they can listen to,
Right.
and happen to reach that, be on that list or their palette for the day. I want to be able to be one of those people that somebody can say, "Oh shit, I'm gonna just throw on his catalog today and just let that joint run,"
Right.
or I'm gonna throw on Hard to Be King and I'm gonna start that joint from the top and I'm gonna just let that run because I want to listen to music. But at least this artist is putting out listenable music. Now, how do I feel about it in these times? I mean, not everybody feel that way. So their music is received as such. Oh, check out my joint, and then you do that, and then next month they got another song, and then the month after that they got another mixtape, and 2 months after that they got another mixtape. But it's nothing that they're living with, nothing that they are tied to. I get hit up about Ghost and 20. I got hit up about Ghost and $20 bills and Beautiful every day since they dropped
Really.
until the first. Yes, every day since those albums dropped, I get someone contacts me or references either one of those albums every day since they've been released, except for the first. It stopped on the second. Now everybody has Hard to Be King. You see what I'm saying? So there are people that are living with my music, and if they get it, they go back and they listen. They're like, "Oh shit, this is dope," and they listen. They're listening now. You know what I mean? It's a
Right.
listen. It's not a check for me thing. Like you said, you may have listened to my album like 3 times already, or something. You said,
It's more than
and I'm
that.
like, "Huh?
It's more than
What you
that.
said?"
But keep going.
Well, all right. So even so, I'm just thinking about the amount of time I was with you. You see what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
my album is an hour long. So if you listen to my album more than 5 times, I've spent five. I've taken up or occupied or accompanied your life for a lot of time.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing to do if you could do that with an album. That brings you closer to people, and when you have a conversation or get into a good dope interview, they're asking you good questions because they've lived with you and they sat with your music. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
we're having a very fluent conversation because of it.
Right. Cause definitely, one thing is always want to interview artists that I connect with musically. I always want to make sure that, cause I want to ask like quality questions. I want to add, so, like if I ask you a quality question, it has substance to it. You give me a lot back. Prime
Yeah,
example.
yeah,
So I was like, yeah, I need to reach out to you on this one, like for real, for real.
yeah. Nah, that's what's up, yo. This whole thing was dope, though.
See. Hey, first you my first interview for this year, dog. So you definitely said a high tone, like for real.
Yeah, nah, I appreciate it, man, and I appreciate you like listening and dissecting the album and sharing the album and interviewing me, anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely like from the bottom of my heart grateful for anything. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate you, bro.
No, I appreciate you, man. You definitely just you taking your time out of your busy schedule and your phone not dying on me means a lot to me, bro.
You know, man. So I got you, bro.
I'm gonna go ahead and
All
let you do
right,
your
man.
thing. I'm gonna text you though, like for real, for real.
All right, bro.
All right, stay up.